Welcome back to another Apex Racing Academy track guide. Alex Simpson here in the Mercedes AMG GT3 for the basic track guide this is. And yeah, I'm going to start off with a real quick disclaimer. Love this car around this circuit, heck of a lot of fun to drive. But if you're running in the BSS or anything where you're competing against the McLaren this week, give up. It just is not fast enough. The McLaren is massively outperforming any other car around here. Just the straight line speed is just killing everything off. So it's a good second lap faster, I would say. With absolute ultimate work on the setup, you might get that down to about 3/4 or half a second. You're just not going to be able to compete. The whole grid's going to be McLaren, so I would stick with that. But anyway, even with that in mind, let's take you through a lap around Le Mans. Please note this was the first time I drove this track as well, so just sort of myself getting up to speed. Just through the little kink, keep to the right, spot your braking marker nice and early on the right, second gear through the chicane, use all the curbing and the sausage curbs. You can get away with absolutely no problem on the Mercedes, it's nice and planted. Down through the sweeping section again, keep to the right here so you can hook the left third gear through this section. And through the right there, just sort of making sure I don't run off into the grass. Fourth gear up, just cutting this corner right here, just so we can get a good run off the corner. You can't cut too much on the right, otherwise you'll get a slowdown penalty, and you can't use too much of the exit, as you'll also get a slowdown penalty. So you're kind of threading the needle through there. Down the straightaway section. Got a long time to think about the braking. We're looking at the 100-meter board. We want to brake just before that, maybe about sort of 65 meters, something like that, maybe 70. 120 meters, something like that. And we want to hook the car on the right. I've gone in a bit deep there, which has just compromised my exit a little bit. So you want to get the car a little bit more over to the right, and that's just because I braked just a fraction too late. So that's a good example of what not to do there. Coming down the next straight. Again, we're looking again about the 120-meter mark, and we want to just sort of get our left tyres onto the curb on the left, and then we want to get ready to hook them onto the right. We want to get our tyres just up on top of the curb on the right-hand side as well. Follow that around, and again, much better cars, much more under control, and we're able to pick up the gas pedal a lot earlier this time and drive out of that corner. Again, we're following the track, avoiding the crown and the road so that car doesn't wander all over the place. Good tip, you know, when you're overtaking someone, is make sure you get out of the slipstream really quickly and get over. When we're coming down in here, we're going to brake in a straight line, heading towards the blue sort of marker board that was in the distance there, and down into second gear, and we're hooking up the wheels on the curb on the right, and we're really aggressive onto the on the exit. It's worth pointing out, sorry, I braked just as the kink started in that corner as well, and you can see the blue signage boards that I was going for. Now coming down into this section as well, don't want to turn in too early here. I turn in just a bit too early, and it compromises my line, and I do make a mistake here. But I see I'm not quite over to the right, and I still try and be very aggressive, and we just get a little bit wide here. But still a reasonable lap to show. Down into second gear again, hook the car on the right, get on the power, use all of the track. And yeah, you have to brake quite early there. It's about 75 meters going into that tight right-hander, and you want to basically start braking straight after the kink. You'll have a little lift through that kink so that you can keep over to the right. Coming to the final sector, again, look for the Astro on the left, that's your braking marker. Down to fourth gear, you're trying to hug the curb all the way around this corner, so you're right over to the right. Again, I'm a little bit tight, which has compromised my line here. Couldn't quite get that flat out. Down to fourth, and then we're going to have another downshift into third. Back up to fourth, and then we're going to shift down into third again. Nice and tight. Get in there. Watch the off track by using too much of that runoff area. Through the through this last little kink or flat out. Look for the sort of a pit entry sort of divide. Braking before that. Down to third gear. Use the curbs on the left and on the right, and then brake into second gear for the final chicane, using all of the curbs, and get on the power nice and early. That's a lap around Le Mans. Have fun in the McLaren this week, guys. See you next week.